All right, I do believe we are once again live. Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Yankee is MURICA, Guns and Freedom podcast. If you've never been here before, you're probably wondering why we're doing it on this channel. Because we're suspended on our regular channel. We can't do it. But so we're doing it over here just so people will still have a place to come. At least the diehards will. We won't get in a lot of stragglers or any laissez faire viewers, but we'll get the hardcore guys. You don't have to talk to me during this chat if you don't want to. You can chat amongst yourselves over there in the live chat. That's what it's there for. Uh, if you want to talk to me, though, that's what I'm here for. You can ask me questions. You can suggest topics. You can call me out if you think I'm wrong about something. Uh, all you have to do, if you want to do that, the only thing I'd ask that you do is that you put at the Yankee Marshal in front of the questions or comments that are directed at me. That way I've got a chance to see them because the red box will pop up around them. Now, this is where I would usually say, if you want to support Pets and Vets and get questions answered immediately, you can do a super chat. But since we're suspended and this channel is not monetized, we can't do that. So the only way we are able to fund Pets and Vets right now is if you go over to tympistolproject.com. Do I have that loaded up anywhere? No, I do not. Let me load that up so that I can copy it and post it in the chat here. There's a link to it right here if anybody wants to go over. If you do go over there, you can either just donate at the top of the page, or you can scroll down just a little bit and you'll see the TYMP swag bag bonanza, your source for official TYMP merch. And you'll see a bunch of t-shirts there for sale, a lot of custom designs. Those all go to benefit the Pets and Vets program. And every time you buy one, you get 2 entries into the friend drawing. And if you just donate, you get an entry for every $5 you donate. So you can spend less money and get the same amount of entries if you just donated $10. But if you want a shirt to go with it, please do. Everybody likes to have cool t-shirts to wear. So did you see my email I sent yesterday? I don't know. What was it about? Let me see. I'm looking to see. I don't know. What was it about? But while I'm waiting for him to answer that, like I said, if you want to support if you want to support Pets and Vets program, please go over. I made the mistake of jinxing myself yesterday because I said, haha, we're showing YouTube. We're funding Pets and Vets every day since we've been suspended with the t-shirt sales. And we only funded about half the time with live chats and super chats. And then I jinxed myself, and today we've only made $30 before all the fees are taken out because I've only sold 3 t-shirts. But I do want to read who it was that bought those t-shirts. Let me go over there and read the names of the people who participated and got us where we are, at least. I read John Heasley and Eric Harry Schnauzer from last night. But today we've had Matt Hirschland, Gregory Grimaldi, and Ryan McLaughlin. So go on over there and buy something if you want to participate and help fund Pets and Vets while we are suspended from YouTube. Has there any questions started coming in yet? I don't know if there's any coming in yet. Let me go here and look. Thanks for the thumbnail for the chat. It kept me from eating too much. Yeah, it's Eric Pratt and Wayne LaPierre, and I'm like, what do these 2 guys have in common? Well, they've become multimillionaires off of supposedly fighting for our rights and using our money to become multimillionaires. Where am I? Good evening, yo fart. Doo-doo. Why would we want to poop? What? Doo-doo. Oh, doo-doo. Yeah, I said doo-doo. Did you see my email sent yesterday? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know what you haven't told me what it's about yet. I think, I think there should be a federal law that allows parents and guardians to run into a school building armed when there is a reported active shooter situation. Well, I would like to think that there's no one that would ever charge them, not like those Uvalde cowards that were trying to arrest parents for doing what they were afraid to do. Did he ever say what it was about? Any plans on creating a Patreon tier for PSNVS? What the fuck's PSNVS? Pretend super chat just because. Well, pretend all you like. It didn't do me no good, or the pets and the vets. But imagination is a very important thing. It's nice if we all have imagination. We use our imaginations to do lots of things. That's how great things are created. First, someone imagines them, and then a corporation finds a way to profit off of it. I am answered all the chat questions already. Since it is a weekend, I don't think we're going to get many people in here, especially on our alternative channel here, where no one knows where we're at hardly. Oh, I don't see any questions coming in. Everybody's more talking to themselves right now. Washington State has a backlog of over 10,000 rape kits sitting in various PDs, like you say, always carry. Yeah, and they don't spend money on any of that stuff. They want to spend their time and money passing unconstitutional gun laws and then defending them in court instead of getting rapists off the streets. Did you hear that MasterCard and Visa reversed and making a separate charge code for them? Yeah, they saw the negative backlash to Discover doing it. And they decided, ooh, all those far lefties that, hate guns, well, they're not going to use our card just because we act like we hate guns too. So they realized there's not a big win here for us. Thank you, Yankee. I'm cleaning out my garage after a long day, and the silence was deafening. Well, it's still gonna be fairly silent. I ain't got a lot of questions coming in. So, Yankee is a big SpongeBob fan. Imagination. No, I'm not. I've never seen an episode of SpongeBob. I mean, I'm familiar with his work because I have kids, but I've never seen an episode of it. And imagination is not something SpongeBob has created. Saw venison steak for sale at public market and thought of getting some next weekend. Oh, venison. I love venison. I actually think I like venison better than beef, to be honest. I know that might be a controversial statement, but I actually kind of feel that way. If a werewolf came upon a human that can transform into a werewolf, does he recognize him as such? You mean if a werewolf comes upon another werewolf, regardless of what form they're in? Yes, they can smell each other. What do you think of goats eating up the junk left behind in homeless encampments? That's happening in Bellevue. Well, as long as it's healthy stuff that the goats eat, I don't want them eating garbage that's going to make them sick or plastic in their stomach. I'd rather just not have the homeless encampments. Put more money into housing displaced people so that they don't have to live on the streets. Put more money into making those places safe so that it's not safer to live on the streets. Put that money into education programs and programs that help people get back on their feet instead of all these other things they're doing. That would be a better thing to do. No one's going to get rich off of it. No one's going to give a big kickback to a politician for instigating it or instituting it. Why it won't get done, but that's what we need to be doing. Our taxpayer dollars should be going to that more than defending unconstitutional gun laws. Looked at a Python 3-inch today at Sportsman's Warehouse, $14.49. Want one? Yeah, they're awesome. It's hard to spend $1,500 on a revolver, but I've done it. I've done more than that. I saw you posted on the Spore revolver video. I never thought about a skeletonized hammer on a revolver. I've seen it before. It's definitely good looking. Yeah, I mean, if done right, it can look really good. I mean, I've seen it done before. Where am I? Not a lot going on in here today. We might make this a short chat, maybe like a half-hour chat today, because I guess since it's Saturday, there's nobody here because we're on an odd channel, so no one even knows we're here. But everybody's out trying to get the most of their life before they lose an hour of it today. So, not a big fan of daylight savings times. It takes me 72 hours to realign my biological clock. I never even noticed the difference, to be honest. The only thing I notice is that, hey, it's starting to get dark later, and I like that because the clocks always change when I'm like right before I go to bed or right after, so it doesn't make any difference to me. Bought a 2010 Miata. I don't see any pictures, so it ain't real unless we see pictures. It ain't real till we see proof. Apparently, showing gun grips on YouTube is as taboo as a woman showing her ankles in most Muslim majority nations. Yeah, it's about the same level of enforcement. How is it Wayne LaPierre isn't in prison for embezzlement? Because he's not embezzling anything. He's getting paid these things above board, and people don't care. And the people that are part of the organizations keep telling you, pay no attention to that because we want our share of the money. So everyone that's involved in it's just as corrupt as he is. I will trade you, even though this person can't spell Marshall, so I shouldn't answer the question. I will trade you my 2019 King Cobra for your polished OG one. No. Sit pick. It's the funniest car I've ever driven. Didn't know driving could be fun. Everyone says it's gay though. Oh well. Well, everybody said that anyway for you. Most people were saying that about you anyway. I'm not saying it's not true, but I'm just saying it was said. And I think that's one of the best compliments anybody can pay you. Say, I think that guy might be gay. That's like saying, wow, he's in good shape. He dresses well. He's intelligent. He probably didn't vote for Biden or Trump because he's too smart for that. All the money Wayne took for suits, trips, etc., that bastard should be in prison. No, that's called an expense account, and that's totally above board, voted on by all the board members and everything. There's nothing illegal about it. It's like, you got to remember, just because something is a nonprofit doesn't mean that no one makes money. You can form a nonprofit tomorrow, bring in $10 million and give $100,000 to charity, take the other $9,900,000 and pay it to yourself. As long as you pay your personal income taxes on it, that's all above board. Now, you might get in trouble for people who find out later and say, hey, you are only giving 5% of what you take into charity. We're upset. Well, then don't donate anymore. Why is that picture not coming through from Nominal Snowman? Not getting anything over there. Today's a slow moving day. I sold 3 t-shirts. Where am I? Get back over here to the chat. Today, Dan from Sporting Systems posted a great video explaining the status and timeline of the Washington assault weapon ban and SB 5078. Yeah, I saw that. What does it mean when I had a dream last night that I was committing a crime with my gun, would not fire when I needed it to? Oh, well, that's insecurity. That's feelings of incompetence and vulnerability. Like you're a victim, feelings of victimization, all things. And it could mean your dick don't work. Never got much into dream therapy or not a Freudian or a Jungian either. So are we going to do? So are you going to do your free SBR stamp since the assault weapon ban is going to pass? I got 3 left waiting. I wish I had done it sooner. Not gonna be able to, I don't think I'll be able to do it now. I don't got time. Unless it gets a stay put on it. If it gets a stay put on it immediately, I'll go ahead and slap it through real quick. I think we still got a little time. I'm here, I'm a square, and I'm broke, so that's why I'm watching you on a Saturday night. Well, worse things you could be. Way worse things. You could be from Arkansas. Where was I? I know a woman who was offended when some drunk guy called her a beach blonde. I told her a lot of beach blondes are hot. I think they meant bleach blonde, because I guess beach blonde just means you're on a beach and you're blonde. I think he means bleach blondes. It seems to me that gun prices are up and there are no real good deals currently. Have you seen any? I haven't seen any real good deals lately, no. And then when I do, they're all the same things, the Taurus G3Cs and the Smith & Wesson shields and stuff like that. Went to local gun shop in Spokane. Everyone is panic buying. It's the same thing here. It's a madhouse. Guys dropping $2,000 and $3,000 cash on guns. Yeah, it's the same thing here. People are going crazy because it's the way people do. It's good for the industry. This kind of stuff. I drive in a way. Now, if 5078 passes, that's not good for the industry. That'll bankrupt them. And eventually, these laws will bankrupt the industry too, but it gives them a big bang to go out on. I drive a 2021 Toyota Camry. Hell yeah, I like reliability. What are you, an old woman? That's who I see driving Camrys, old people. Every time I get behind a Camry on Washego River Road, I'm like, they're going to do 20 miles an hour because they're probably 70. Last night I had a nightmare that I shot a group of young punks that were trying to murder me with landscaping equipment. Oh, that means you're sexually attracted to Hispanic landscapers. I don't have solid sources, but allegedly the ATF will mass deny all pending SBR stamps if assault weapons ban passes. Well, they would. They can't issue them if it's a state that you can't have an assault weapon. I did, just for people who listen and don't watch, I did air quotes there when I said that. I'm not too far from Arkansas, just one state north, Missouri. That's not as bad. Is there going to be a rally in Olympia? Are you attending? If so, no. They've really kind of made it hard to do rallies, and rallies don't really do anything because it's always a really horrible optic. Because people who say they care about gun rights never show up, so it's never an ordinary normal group of gun supporters. It's always the fringe element shows up. So it's a bunch of guys in beards and aviation sunglasses walking around with 2 ARs on their shoulders with, fuck Biden t-shirts and all that stuff that doesn't really win us anybody over and doesn't do us any good. So a lot of organizations have just quit doing rallies because they don't do a lot of good. And they've become something that the press loves to show up to because they know that everyday people don't bother to show up. So it's like a shit show. You end up with people up on stage preaching damnation and how Democrats are going to burn in hell and all this stuff. And it's just like, that's not doing us any good. Division doesn't do us any good. So no, I doubt there'll be a rally, but I will be going up for the hearing on the 14th, which is, what is that? Is that Tuesday? Yeah, I got to get I can't decide if I want to drive my car up or if I'm going to get a train ticket Tuesday to go up. Just go up on the train. We'll wait and see. I'll see once tomorrow. I'll have to make my decision by tomorrow. For the longest time, I thought the Thompson Center Arms Contender was the same as the Hoda pistol. They look similar. Mm-hmm. Last night I had a movie quality dream and I forgot it. Does that mean I have Alzheimer's? No, a lot of people don't remember their dreams. And you don't remember every dream you have. It's like even your memory plays tricks with you with stuff like dreams. It's like you ever be dreaming something and then you get up and do something and you go back to sleep and you're like, oh, I continued right where I was in the dream. Yeah, no, you didn't. Your brain's playing tricks on you. I went in 2013 in Atlanta after Sandy Hook. It was a Jesus sermon at the Capitol. Yep, that's what it turns into. Didn't think we could open carry at rallies at the Capitol anymore. You can't. That's what pretty much killed them, like I said. And that's the only people who show up. So, Scene about the bank going bust. I saw it. I don't really care. Think there will be any contagion? Top 20 banks in the U.S. or something? Top 20 bank in the U.S. or something? I don't give two shits about it. These banks are so poorly run and they're worse than the NRA. It's all about a small group of people get super rich super fast and screw everybody else and hoping when the government will bail them out if things go bad. And it's just they're so poorly run that we're better off with them not existing. What should I put in my gun safe? Someone else who can't spell Yankee Marshall. What should I put in my gun safe to prevent any rust or no much moisture? That doesn't make sense. Anything else I should worry about? Just put goldenrods in there. That's what I use in my old safes, goldenrods. In this safe, I have a dehumidifier and everything, but I don't have that in my big gun safe. The gun safe now is Cadence, but still I have two goldenrods in it, one low and one high. The goldenrods do great. Did that picture ever come through of his Miata? No, never came through. I'm still, wait. Oh, I've got it searching for something. If I'd have taken that off there, I'd probably find this. I got a donation from Christian. No, wait, did he buy something? No, he just donated. I know. I was like, they can't buy them for that, but he did. He just donated. So did John Mandrick. Just went over and donated. Tim Fat Salami sent me a picture of an AR with some purple on it, which is kind of cool. It's kind of what do you call it? Kind of Princey, Prince inspired, I should say. All right, there's the picture of the Miata. Let me see if I can get it up here. Well, it's loading. Let me load that up. Here's the picture that Tim Fast Salami sent us. I know he would rather us call him Fat Salami, but I'm afraid that would be false advertising. But there's what he sent. The purple looks pretty on there. That's a 350 Legend, by the way. Which you can get a Smith & Wesson revolver in that caliber now. Where did my Miata go? Aha, there it is. So that does look nice. Let's see. Here it is. Here's the Miata he just bought. He said he didn't know driving could be fun. Miatas are probably some of the most fun you could ever have in a car. They are pretty much one of the last true roadsters. A lot of people try to call them sports cars and be like, and then people get mad because they call it's not a sports car. Well, it's not supposed to be a more sports car. It's a roadster. And it's one of the last true roadsters, like one of the true European roadster style cars that you can get these days. And it is incredible fun to ride or drive, not ride. You could ride on them probably. They ain't that big. You sit on top. I sent you a pic of my 350 Legend AR. Oh, I just showed that. While I'm Let me see. Did we get any orders over here? Because I saw people donated, but did any orders come through? No, there's been no orders over here. And it said right here, what did it say? Notification of donation received. Oh, I guess it was just donations. Let's see if there's been any donations over here. Who's people who need. I read 2 of them, I think. Let's see here. Oh yes, we got a $50 from John Mandrick, and another 50 from John Mandrick, and then a 5 from John Mandrick. What is he doing? Is he having a stroke? Is he something's going on? Or maybe he just got a lot of money he wants to get rid of. And Christopher Maupin. You know, with this, we've more than funded Pets and Vets today. So I still get to say we funded Pets and Vets every day, thanks to, in large part, to John Mandrick. And I'm probably going to carry one of those 50s over to tomorrow and use that to count towards tomorrow's in case we just sell 3 more t-shirts tomorrow. And be able to say it again tomorrow too, because weekends are hard. It's hard to get stuff sold on weekends. People aren't doing anything. They're out doing stuff. I mean, not staying at home. Let's see here. The 6-year-old in Virginia who shot his teacher will not face criminal charges. Well, he shouldn't. He's 6. The parents should face charges. So it finally warmed up enough to lose the beard. Well, that's got nothing to do with the temperature. I don't care about temperature for beards. It did warm up enough today that I could see our snow thing outside for the first time. In fact, I posted it on Instagram. If you follow me on Instagram, you should go over there. You'll see. Let me see if I can get it to Instagram. Where's my Instagram stuff? Where am I at? Where am I at? How do I get to my stuff? Stuff I posted. Oh, there we go. If you look right here, you'll see. Wait, don't do that. For the first time in weeks, we can see our snow gauge out front because the snow levels have dropped to about 15 inches. We had rapid melt off. It's been over his head for the last couple of weeks. But now, ta-da, we're down to 15 inches. I even drove my Camaro yesterday. So, let me see if I can answer this while I'm here. Reply. The new ones are great carry guns. Go. Boom. Try to reply. Wait, why is it doing that? Get rid of this. There we go. All right, where was I? Fire Goosey. My son's Miata that he rolled, he got a concussion and doesn't remember what happened. That's what he's telling you. But I'm sure he was driving too fast, too far for the conditions, is what he said. But I think he means too fast. Yeah, he's telling you he doesn't remember what happened. I bet you he remembers what happened. Oh, I don't know. There's no possible way I was going way too fast and driving erratically and blah, blah, blah. Thanks to your backup channel, I'm getting reasonable political view channels popping up in my feed. Stop being reasonable. I don't know what else to do. I mean, I'm not always reasonable. A lot of times I'm very unreasonable, but I tend to be reasonable about the right things. It's like big things. Big things I'm usually fairly reasonable about because it's a big, serious topic. I always try to do all right, stop, take a breath, look at this from both sides and see what's really going on here. That's when it's big stuff. When it's smaller things all the time, I'm just like snap decision, snap decision, snap decision, react, react, react. That doesn't look like it's been flipped over. I assume that's pre-flipping. Let me out of. I need to share another picture. Oh yeah, here's the post flipping. I'll share that right here. There's the car post flip. Yeah, don't flip them. I don't know if we need to say that to most people, but I will go on record saying that if you have a Miata, do not flip it. It's not a good thing. I've flipped cars before. I've flipped cars on purpose. A friend of mine, Ed Cantor, used to have family connections at the junkyard over in Gallipolis, Ohio, a salvage yard. And a lot of times they'd get cars in that were still drivable, but they'd been totaled. And we would take them, put our seatbelts on, and drive them down. There's a highway there. I think it's 35, but there's an old route right there that stops. It just stops and drops off about 3 feet, like a 3 foot berm, like a ramp down into a field. We would get the cars going as fast as we could get them going down that road and then jerk them to the right or left and try to roll them. And we would do that not knowing or not aware that, we could die doing that because, we were 16 years old. So 15, 16, 17. So we thought we were immortal, but we did that all the time. Kids these days would be like, oh my God. The parents would act like they had been murdered. Where am I at? I finally swapped my Taurus 44 Special and 357 Magnum for a Ruger Super Alaskan Red Hawk. Been wanting one forever. Well, that's good. That's a good switch. I can't say anything bad about that. I love mine. I carry it quite often. So there. Oh, and to the people who won the bullets, the silver bullets, Moobutt, Alan Manheim, and Joshua Metzger. I did not order your bullets when I was at the gun shop yesterday because someone didn't get back to me about what they wanted, even though they said probably 9mm. They didn't get back to me until today. And today I did not go to the gun shop. So I'm probably just going to order them offline and get them sent to you. I could just send you ones I already have, but that's a fucking hassle. So I'm just going to have them sent. So I got to send out a 9mm, a 357 Magnum, and a 44 Magnum. And I assume everyone wants werewolf loads. So I don't know what made me think of that, but Super Red Hawk Alaskan. He didn't tell me what caliber Super Red Hawk Alaskan he got. Probably 44 Magnum, I'm guessing. Those make great carry guns. The 44 Magnum ones, amazing carry guns. Just as many shots as the 454 Cthulhu, just a little less powerful, but more manageable by far. What is the best national park to visit? I have something cheap to drive now. I say Jellystone. If I was going to go to a national park, it'd be Jellystone. Does your son have enough stuff to fill a safe yet? Has he bought anything for himself yet? No, of course not. He makes me pay for everything. The only thing he spends money on is his car. He just paid to have his windows tinted the other day, stuff like that. Which I barely noticed when I drove his car. I took it down and got it repaired or got the thing done. I got to take it down Monday too. So, yeah, I don't know what I was saying there, but no, he doesn't. He's only got like 3 handguns and 2 rifles, but it's a place to keep them. Representative Greg Strube introduced a bill to allow congressmen to carry guns to and from House buildings and store them in the Capitol building while at work. That sounds like a good idea to me, I guess. I don't like it if they don't allow us the same courtesy, then they shouldn't be able to. But if citizens can't carry there, then they shouldn't be able to carry there. But we can still carry. It's just got to be concealed. So they should have to carry concealed too. I don't care if they have a place to store them. I'd say keep them on them all day would be a better thing to me. I would say don't store them anywhere. Just if you're going to carry concealed, keep it on you. How long is your regular channel on timeout? Did YouTube give you a date? I do not have a date, and I don't have a response to my appeals yet. So, but I had a strike also, even when they told me I wasn't going to get a strike. So I'm assuming my appeal is not going to go well. I would love to see Good Luck America spank the Yank with you in one of your live chats. It's too bad that's never going to happen. I don't know who Good Luck America is. The guy selling the car didn't haggle any. First time I've encountered that. Wouldn't budge on the price any. I've horse traded a lot, and that's first for me. People don't have to haggle on cars right now. If you want them, you'll pay for it. I just sent an email with before and after pic of my. Oh, okay, yeah, I saw that. Are magical beings like vampires? Vampires ain't real. Werewolves, they're not magical. They don't. Well, I guess there are some werewolves that can do like card tricks and stuff, but I wouldn't consider them magical. I don't think they're going to make the Empire State Building disappear or anything. Werewolves considered cryptids. Werewolves are cryptids. Are only non-magical animals like Sasquatch, Mothman, and Chupacabra considered cryptids? Well, werewolves are cryptids too. Dogmen, etc. Vampires aren't real. Come in here with that silliness. My favorite reasonable argument said there is not a labor shortage, but an anti-exploitation movement. Facts were represented very well. Well, that is a reasonable argument. It's not that there's not enough workers. There's lots of workers and lots of jobs. So we didn't suddenly have workers disappear. It's not like, 30% of the population vanished. No, they just decided that they can make more money doing Uber or delivering fast food or delivering food or something like that, working their own hours than they can working for someone for $9 an hour. So they stopped doing it because they don't want to be treated like garbage for minimum wage when they can work for themselves and make just as much money without have a much looser schedule. That's what happened. And that's why places like wherever Huckabee is governor are trying to make it easier to hire 14-year-olds and 15-year-olds and 16-year-olds because they're being pushed by these big corporate interests and chain holders that own chains of fast food restaurants and stuff because they have not been able to get employees. So they want to hire 14-year-olds cheap because they don't want to pay what they would have to pay 18-year-olds and up to work. So they're trying to get little kids, hoping little kids will be willing to work for next to nothing because they got no expenses. They're not paying rent or car payments or anything. They're not even old enough to drive. So that's what that's all about. It's about providing a more exploitable workforce. Seen a few videos on scratch-built roadsters using moped and V-twin motorcycle engines. Now I'm looking for a kit. There are some nice little kits. There's some like little Lotus kits and stuff like that are kind of cool. There's some that turn Volkswagen Beetles into a very cool looking little convertible roadster. There's just all kinds of the kits. I would love some of the kits. I wish I had the time and the space. I have the time. I don't have the money or the space. I wish I had the money and the space. Well, I have the space if I would make it. I could clear out the carport out there and we could do it there. I wish I had the money to build one of those kits with Caden because he would love that. I was in Gardiner, Montana last week. I think my MT is Montana. Am I not? Is that right? I'm horrible with postal abbreviations. Last week, this yuppie in a G-Wagon slowed down to take pictures of the bighorn sheep on the road. They got too close and they headbutted and kicked their car. They happened my son the other day. He was going down. Caden hit a deer yesterday on his way to school. And what he did is he was going down Washington River Road and there was deer crossing the road. Well, he slowed down. And as he slowed down, they trotted on across the road. They were in the other lane. He decided to, I'm going to speed back up and go past them because they're going over the other side. Well, when he sped up, one of them whirled around and came over and headbutted his mirror and knocked the glass out of it. But didn't damage his car any and didn't hurt itself any. I was like, you don't speed up. Let them get off the road. You keep going the same slow, steady speed. If you make any sudden movements, you're going to spook them. And that's what he did. He got his mirror headbutted and the glass knocked out of it. Luckily, the glass in those snaps in since they're power mirrors, so it snaps into a little holder. So we just snapped it back in and it was fine. But definitely a werewolf load, said Moo Butt. And what about you, sir? What do you like to get at Dairy Queen or similar if it applies to your area? Oh, well, Dairy Queen, I love. If we go inside, it's always the same thing, banana split. If we're driving, well, milkshakes are really good when you're driving. I like a good lightly chocolate milkshake. I always tell them, make it like it's a vanilla shake, but just put 1 squirt of chocolate in it. Instead, well, 2 squirts instead of the 4 squirts they put in the regular chocolate shakes. So chocolate milkshake is always a good option. Or I like a large cone, and I alternate. I go back and forth. Like if today I get one, well, I don't get them right now, but when I would get them often, I would get a vanilla cone dipped in chocolate one day. And then the next time I got a cone, it'd be a chocolate cone. And then I would get another vanilla cone dipped in chocolate. And then I would get another chocolate cone, alternate them on when I got them. Let me go. I got to get something to drink. I'm thirsty. Wait, do I have something right here? I had this open earlier today. There. It's not cold anymore, but that's fine. I can drink the lemonade if it's not cold. I can't drink like soda if it's not cold. One of my Zyra will drink a warm soda, and I'm just like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Oh, it tastes the same. I'm like, no, it does not. Where are we? Make sure I don't got anything else to read. I don't like missing people's names. Nope. And nope, I got all those. I got to remember to do it right before the end too, so I don't miss anybody. Oh no, I did. No, I read all those. I read those. Let me go back over to the chat and see what's going on over here. The Miata doesn't have holes for a front license plate. How bad will Washington State Patrol harass me if I don't mount it? I've never had a problem. I haven't put a front license plate on a car in many years. What I do is I put suction cups on it, and if a cop ever like pulls me over, just stick it up in the windshield, and then be like, "Oh, it's up here in the windshield," because they never look there for your license plate. Or very least, if you don't want to put it up there, like somebody, oh, if you move, they'll shoot you. I'm like, it's such fucking bullshit. I love it when people who've supposedly been cops are like, if you move, they'll shoot you. Bullshit. The first thing you're trained when you do that, when you're trained to do a traffic stop, is you are trained not to overreact to normal movements, like people reaching in their glove box or under their seat. You approach cautiously, but you don't overreact to that. Now, furtive movements, like if you see someone hold up a gun or try to open the door and get out, that's one thing. But just someone reaching in their glove box or reaching in the seat and sitting something on the dashboard, if that gets you shot, that's the worst fucking cop in the world. Because you are specifically trained hard on how not to overreact to that stuff. But like I said, I've never gotten any trouble. I just put suction cups on it, and if I ever have to stick it in the windshield, I do. I've never had to even stick it in the windshield yet. Never been asked about it. If I was ever asked about it and I didn't feel like sticking it in the windshield, just say, oh, I keep it suction cup windshield. That's why it's got the suction cups on it, but it fell off when I was sitting in the parking lot earlier and I haven't put it back up yet because it got hot. Something like that. Or you took it down so someone wouldn't steal it while you were in the store or whatever. Do you remember the dealership where you bought your son's Audi? Yeah, it was the Mazda dealership in Gladstone. Where was it? I just jumped. A federal appeals court just upheld the Florida law that raised the minimum age to purchase a gun from 18 to 21. Well, that's conflicting rulings there. So that means the Supreme Court now will have to step in. Let's see here, because there's already rulings that state that that's unconstitutional. I bought an FN 509T last fall. Then they made the 510. I would rather have had the 510. The world is against me. Well, you can always sell it and get you the other one. My Miata is also the 6-speed GT with power retracting hardtop. I love the power retracting hardtop. I like the RTs now, which I think stands for retracting top, doesn't it? I never thought about this. Airlines ban firearms, yes, but what about cruise ships or even Amtrak? Well, cruise ships ban firearms. You can't bring cruise ships on. Amtrak allows firearms. Is there any Leslie Nielsen movie where he's not defying the laws of physics every 5 minutes? I don't know. I'm sure he's done some dramatic things in his day. And I don't remember him. I don't know about on what about Airplane? Did he defy the laws of physics on Airplane? I don't know if he did or not. How many leprechauns would it take to overpower a Bigfoot? Well, one, leprechauns are tiny. Two, they're not real. Three, Bigfoot's not really, someone you would want to fight with anyway. So I don't know why you want to overpower him. So I think I reject your question. A Miami-Dade County judge is trying to eliminate the bail requirement for people accused of animal cruelty resulting in death or serious bodily injury. Shame on her. Well, I don't really know how I feel about cash bail on anything. I'm a firm believer if you commit a crime, if you're still a risk to the community or a flight risk, they put you in jail. If you're not a risk, you don't go to jail. You just wait for your court date. There's no reason for people who get stuff like parking tickets or, arrested for jaywalking and then talking back to the cop to have to put up a big sum of money to not be in jail. Jails should be reserved for people who are a danger to society. If you shoot a werewolf with a 50 BMG machine gun until the barrel melts, it will not die, correct? Yet it is not a magical creature. No, it just has amazing healing powers. Tardigrades are very durable too. They're not magical. In Illinois, if you have your plate in the windshield, that's a fine for improper display. Well, that's why I don't live in Illinois. Well, that's not really the reason. The place sucks. But other than that, Chicago, I just don't like Chicago. I don't like New York either, but I definitely don't like Chicago. Chicago's like, like New York only, let's say greasier, but it's not as bad as Philadelphia, but it's still. Philadelphia is like someone built a city and then it closed down. It's like they tried to build another Boston and then they just went, fuck it, just boarded everything up. What about the idea that if the driver needs to keep their hands glued to the steering wheel during a traffic stop? Not going to happen. You are trained to know that most people, first thing they're going to do when they go to pull over or when they're still driving, especially, they're going to start reaching in their glove box. They're going to look for their insurance. They're going to reach in their back pocket and try to pull out their wallet. That's normal movements when someone's being pulled over, and that is drilled into you. Now, from the second they get out of their car and start walking up, you want your hands fully visible on the steering wheel or even out the window if they're looking like they're really nervous and they're like, let's see your hands. But if they're that jumpy, they probably shouldn't be doing what they're doing. Leslie Nielsen played a normal person on the Golden Girls. Yes, he did. What's your thoughts on the 30 Super Carry? Is the Shield Plus worth getting? I don't like the Shield. And I'm not a big fan of 30 Super Carry either. I just don't see a reason for it. It doesn't seem to be taken off, but we'll see. It might. Any worries about taking a train with so many of them derailing? No, it's not really passenger trains that derail so much. It's cargo trains because, literally they pack those things 2 miles long. 2 miles of train cars going along at a high speed, and they ignore all the safety warnings and stuff like that. You can't do that on Amtrak. They can't. They get a safety warning or an alert from one of the crossovers. They have to react to it like it's real. These big supply trains and stuff, they can just ignore them. Very seldom do passenger trains derail. It's usually a big disaster if a passenger, something that causes a major, like tracks are covered with something, or the conductor dies of a heart attack and takes the train up to 150 miles an hour around a corner. Things like that have happened. Uh, can a wood chopper defeat a werewolf? You wouldn't be able to keep a werewolf in a wood chopper. But if you destroy their head, if you behead them, that kills them. Beheading will kill a werewolf. You don't even have to burn the body after. You can just behead them. It'll kill them. If their head's separated from their body, they can't heal. So if you could get their entire body destroyed in the chipper, then yeah. What are the bad things about New York City? Well, it's dirty. It's overpopulated. It's incredibly expensive. What else do you want to know? Good video today. Keep us updated on what is going on. Yeah, I'm so tired of people throwing money at these multimillionaires and their little organizations who take $1 and give a nickel, for everything because they're like, then someone in my chat, oh, the NRA won the Bruin decision. No, they fucking didn't. They went in, filed a brief so they could say they were on it, and then they fundraised off of it, raised millions, and gave a pittance to the actual lawsuit. Because here's the secret for you: lawsuits don't cost $5 million to fight. It costs what your lawyer costs. And a lot of lawyers are willing to do this stuff pro bono, especially if they're going to hear something in front of the Supreme Court. So the cost on a lot of these things is usually what I see is anywhere between $50,000 and $200,000, depending on how far it goes and how long it goes. So what they do is they raise millions and then they pay a third or so of the actual fees, if that, and act like it was their victory. But they draw millions out of the community that could have gone to fight multiple other fights, and they use that for fancy suits and fancy cars and yachts and all that shit. Aren't novelty calibers a good thing during an ammo shortage? Well, not a novelty caliber, maybe unusual calibers. Novelty implies it's not really good for anything. Railroads seem like some really old-time way of moving things. Maybe time to invent something better. Passenger trains get better maintenance than cargo trains. Well, yes, because it's a lot bigger deal if they have injuries with people. It's okay if they poison 1,000 acres and give generations of people cancer, because it's really hard to hold them accountable for that. Their pet politicians have made sure that it's hard for them to be held accountable for that. It's like when they do those things like, we want to reform the courts because people are just suing everybody for everything, and we want to put a cap to that. That's not about small-time litigation. Small-time litigation is not wasting the court's time. What those things are about is we want to make it to where when American Airlines decides they don't want to maintain their planes and one of them crashes, that the most you can sue them for is $10,000 per person. That's what they're really wanting to do. That way they can do the math. Well, it costs us $1 million to service the plane, and if they all die, it only costs us $200,000. So let's just take a risk on them all dying. That's why they want those limitations. I saw a video about an Ohio police department that just had 11 cops indicted for excessive force. They had 9 last year. They only 44 total in the force to begin with. Yeah, it sounds like a corrupt force. Oregon's force, Portland's force is really bad. A lot of the issues in the rail industry is the industry being reformed into the precision scheduling railroad, aka PSR. It's worth reading about if you're bored one day. I don't see how precision scheduling could cause lack of maintenance, and that's what most of the accidents come down to, is lack of maintenance. Hi, I'm eating White Castles. Well, I wouldn't brag about that. I wouldn't want people to know that if I was you. I'd keep that to myself, because now I'm a little sick. I think I have diarrhea just hearing it. So we know where you're going to be the rest of the evening. I wish they made a PPK in 30 Super Carry. Well, that would be a good gun for it if they were going to make one. I would buy that one probably. If I was going to try a 30, that would be the one I'd try. Radiation will kill a werewolf too, but no, I don't think it will. They're pretty resistant to that stuff. There's plenty of werewolves in Chernobyl still. What gun would you buy right now if you had $650, $700 to buy something? Probably, and I hate to say this out loud, but probably a Glock 20 Gen 5. They are very appealing. New York City is way too expensive given what a headache it is to live there. Yeah, it's gross. I mean, I've spent a lot of time there. I used to be stationed at Fort Monmouth in New Jersey. So, of course, went to the city quite often, had friends who lived in the city. I remember staying at a friend's apartment one time, and it was just a little studio apartment. And it was one of those ones where the bathtub was in the kitchen, and it was just a studio. It was a bathtub in the kitchen, and there was a toilet in like a little accordion door thing, like a closet with an accordion door that had a toilet in it that you could barely fit in. And it was just one room with his bed and a couch and a TV and stuff. And I remember it was me and two other guys were staying over there with him. Another guy from my unit who I can't remember his name right now. I think his last name was, what was his last name? I think it might have been Pyle, like Gomer Pyle, but he was a huge guy. And we were staying there, and we were all going to bed. And he said to the guy whose apartment it was, our friend from who lived off base and blah blah blah. Well, we're not going to turn the light off. He's like, oh no, if you turn the light off, you'll be swarmed in roaches. And I was like, yep, I'm going to a hotel. And I got up and went to a hotel. Boom, 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 boom. What does it mean if a dog licks your nose? It means the dog licked your nose. It means you stuck your dog in nose's face. Not a fan of polymer guns, but I really do like the Glock 20 Gen 5. I just think it'd be great like a battle gun belt or a battle belt gun, not a battle gun belt, battle belt gun. How do you feel about dogs being used as drug dogs? I think all the ones that are improperly trained should be retired. Well, I don't like the use of drug dogs. I mean, sniffing luggage and stuff. Yeah, if you're really trying to find stuff that's, being trafficked, but I don't like them being used in like traffic stops and stuff like that when they're trying to get excuse to search someone's car because all the dogs are trained to react to the car as if there's drugs. All the handler's got to do is like tap his thigh 3 times and they'll be like, oh, there's drugs because they train them to do that. So there's a lot of judges that have been throwing that shit out of court. With precision scheduling, they don't want to take rail cars out of service for maintenance or exchange them if it will interfere with the schedule. Well, if you've got enough trains and enough maintenance personnel, it won't interfere with the schedule. So that's not an excuse. And that's not a reason to say, oh, that's the problem. The problem is we're being asked to perform our duties on time and do them in a way that's effective. And we can't do that. So we'll have accident. No, you can't do that at the price you want to pay. But if you hired more service people and took better care of your property, you'd be able to do it just fine. So it's not an excuse. And that's not the cause. That's an excuse. If a werewolf gets tar in its fur, does the tar come off when the creature reverts back to its human form? Yes. That hair doesn't go away. It falls out when you turn back. So you end up with a little pile of hair. Both are on the upcoming 2A cases. Well, yeah, they always get their hand in the pot because they file a brief or something, cost them like $80, whatever, or they get their name on something. They file a supporting document for the lawsuit, and then they go, look, we're suing the state, send us money. And then you send them, they bring in like say $1 million, and then they'll say, oh, here's $50,000 for legal fees, and act like they've done something when all they've really done is taken $950,000 out of the community. People need to really quit sucking LaPierre's and Pratt's dick and start paying attention to what's really going on. There's enough people telling you what's going on and showing you proof of it that if you don't want to accept it, you're in a fucking cult. If you still support things like the NRA and the GOA, it's no longer a political organization. It's a fucking cult because enough people have told you what is really going on. and you can see what is really going on if you open your eyes. So if you don't now, it's because you don't want to, because you've got something other going on than, a desire to be right or have facts on your side. Like I said, you're in a fucking cult or something. Where am I? Are we out of time? We're out of time, actually. We actually had a lot of questions tonight. We only had 120 people here, but we got a lot of questions, kept us rolling. That's good. That always keeps us busy. I did say I wanted to make sure at the very end to make sure I read everybody's name who bought a t-shirt today or donated money. And there haven't been any more sales, and there haven't been any more donations. And we read everybody's name. We did fund Pets and Vets today, thanks to John Mandrick in no small part. So we still get to say every day since we've been suspended, we have funded Pets and Vets. And that's been how many days? Like, how many of these have we done? 5? 6 maybe? Well, we don't usually fund Pets and Vets 5-6 days in a row. So I think we're doing pretty good. Why is this not loading up over here? What's going on? Trying to get this to load so I can make sure we didn't miss anybody. Okay, no, we've read everybody's name. So as of right now, everybody has been acknowledged. So thanks everyone for coming. I do appreciate it. If you want to give us a head start on making our funding tomorrow and you want one of the t-shirts, go over to tympistolproject.com and either just donate or order yourself a cool shirt. Hell, I want some of those shirts. I just don't got the money right now to order them. I want the Prince shirt. I want that Prince shirt badly. And I want, what was the other one I really wanted? There was another one over there I really wanted. What was the one I wanted? I wanted one of them. Oh, I want the Gary shirt. I want the Gary shirt, and I want the Prince, the I Love Guns one. Those are the ones I really want. So I need to order me one. I'm just being cheap. But and I get it $10 less than you all. It costs me $15 with shipping because I get it for production cost, which is I think $11. And so I can get them cheap. But thanks everybody for coming. And like I said, if you do want to help, please go over there, do that. Also, watch my video from today. Go over and help the fight in Washington State, the fight that's actually on the ground and actually happening. You notice they set their goal at 250 for what they think, 250,000 for what they think is going to be a long, drawn out legal fight, not $3 million or something like that, because it doesn't cost that, period. Even for a long, drawn out one, it's going to be like maybe $200,000 by the end. So you got to start wondering, well, where does that other money go to? I think it's obvious where it goes to. That's why I think you should just start supporting ground level, grassroots level fights. So go on over and do that if you want to. I could put a link to that. Well, no, it's on my live chat today. Thanks, everyone. Like I said, what did I say? Oh, and I already said if you want to go over to TYP do that. Otherwise, I will see you all again tomorrow. Same Yank time, same Yank channel. Hopefully we'll get more people. We only had 120 people here today. But until then, I just want to remind everyone out there to always carry and stay safe until I see you again.